We want to say thank you all for coming. On behalf of the Dinkendo family band, it's a great honor having you. And the whole idea and the aim and the objective of this event is just not to release a CD and sell it and make new money and out of it, but it's more of trying to see how best we can connect people, connect our small country to other countries. You know, there's possibilities. We have a rich culture that people are waiting to see. And through the experience, through the past months that we've been here, all the performance we did, people are kind of going in for it. We have never performed a show where people just sit down or walk away. It has never happened. Wherever we perform, be it young or old, everybody comes to the stage, people jump, people dance. It shows that the culture is rich. I sing in Mandinka, Wolof, Jola, Karoninke, Fulani, English, French. Yeah, but most of the songs are local languages. Some of them don't know what we sing, what we are talking on the songs, but they find it interesting. It's attractive, it's entertaining. So with my brother Paco, he's a Senegalese guy, brother, but he's been in the Gambia, he's a Senegambian. So he's been in the Gambia for 11 years, that's where we met and we formed a band there. We used to be a whole band in the US here, but some quit, decided to do something else. But I have a vision and I have a mission, which is to see that every country or everywhere I go, the Gambia is my number one priority. The best thing I can do, whatever it takes to get the Gambia, to give the Gambia the recognition it needs, we do it. I do it.
That's great.
And I also want to say thanks to Allah. I'm not the one, He is the one behind. I only have small ideas, you know, but I have people who also believe in the madness that I have, and we hope it will work for the benefit. It's not for my interest. I have no interest. I can't say I don't really have interest, but 90% of the interest to see that my brothers and sisters who are in the Gambia, some of them are struggling to go to Europe through the back way, and which is some are just using that just to have exposure, to have experience what is it like to live in Europe. I have hundreds of friends who are right now in Italy, but it's not easy. They keep saying it's not easy. We know we'll stay home. So because of what they see, if we travel back to Gambia, we come with with fancy, that's what's confused them. But it's not like we come to Europe and get it all at once. You have to walk. So why not walk home and get whatever you have to have? We can make a difference.
So for the concert, we have 3 different acts opening up for us. We have Betty and the Bullet. We try to find some forms of American music that would, be entertaining for people, and anybody that was more familiar with Egalitarian and Dinkendo Family Band would also see some of our American forms. And we have a rockabilly band. It's a 3-piece band. And it's a very, very American music. It's fiddle and an upright bass and a wonderful guitar player. And then we have a band that plays like really soul music, sort of influenced by the music from the 1960s and early 70s. And they're called Special Delivery. And they're our friends, they're very good. And we have a singer-songwriter who also happens to be my youngest son. We'll be playing a few songs before, as we change over into the stage. And then we have our Egalitarian and Dinkendo Family Band. So we've had good experience with many different types of audiences and sizes of audiences, and we're hoping that having some good content, both the CD and the having some good video shot will give us some possibilities to go further, to different places, As the egalitarian goes back to your beautiful country in the winter, I'll be working here with, our friends to establish a good musical method for getting around the United States to play at colleges and other types of venues, and having good management and professional management. When we have this in place, then egalitarian will be setting up on the Gambia side. He'll be working with people there to find young talent, to find some of the good groups, to make some content for them so they can do a recording. And then if we get the people over here on this end to know what to do, if somebody comes here now to represent the Gambia, instead of my friend here just kind of ending up here and finding his own way, with the help of friends, now we will make a nice network, and we'll be able to set up a better method to get your culture, to get your young people out into my country, and to make it, already we have something very, very nice, but now we can take it and, make it work better. So that's what our hope is,
That's great. And I also believe the plans of coming today here, just help us, you people, can make good use of being friendship with this state. Because I've seen a lot of, I believe there are a lot of things that we can all achieve. The Gambia that will benefit both countries. And the only thing we can do is just to write our music and connect with people.
Yeah.
But from here, from now on, egalitarian has, and the Dinkendo family will have nothing to do with this, with the state, with the layers or this office. From now on, what we want is the Gambia with Delaware.
The egalitarian came to me and he said, I don't just want to do the CD, I want to make it so that we can use this to introduce, our communities, and I thought, okay, we can.
All right. Well, to be frank with you, I've done this several times on behalf of the mayor. There have been several ambassadors that came to town, and distinguished diplomats from the U.S. State Department. I'm the senior advisor for research and development, and I also handle our international program. Okay. And the Gambia, I've been so much impressed with, from the little that I've read about it and I've seen. It's a small country by all measure, but it seems to have been very well focused. I remember in the 60s, 70s, Gambia used to have personnel from Nigeria to help with their civil service, judiciary. The Chief Justice of Gambia was from Nigeria for several years. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. And I think Gambia was able to learn through those years what to do right and what not to do wrong. So I think your country has really benefited in terms of, being focused and focusing the energy, the vision, everything about the country. Right. Yeah, you've had good leadership, and I really want to congratulate you on that. And my prayer is that you should continue on that path, and maybe be an example for countries in the sub-region. It's been a very stable country.
Right.
I mean, you can't ask anything better than that, because the foremost responsibility of any government is to provide for the peace and security of its citizens. If you cannot guarantee that, forget about development. We have partnership with 7 countries. Well, 6 countries for now. The 7th is online. That very soon, by next year, we'll probably wrap it up. So we are trying to engage with our sister cities now. We are holding their feet to fire. Say, we have to start trading. Let's do trade. Let's do trade. Our businesses, our small businesses here, they can partner with your small businesses over there. Let's see what we can do together. And my heart's desire to see that if we can start something with Gambia, on the economic front, on the cultural front, that just strengthens the program all the more. And permit me to say this. One of the problems that I've had with African officials that visit us here from time to time has been that they come, they see all the opportunities, we show it to them, and they feel highly motivated while they are here. The moment they get back home, you don't hear from them again. You write, you call, you go there to even see them. They're like kings. I hope that history won't repeat itself here.
I'm very, very keen on the historical connection between our countries, and our community here and their community there.
Okay.
And I think that this is like, it's always nice when you have medium and long-term plans. And I think that most of us that, particularly fellows like this that just have so much vision, you have a long-term idea. But when I look at things from a pragmatic standpoint, and there's things we can do from the city and from the Gambia where we can work together to get some things happening fairly quickly. Get some people to go over, get some
cultural ambassador here. Egalitarian, and the band. They are a big asset to Gambia. I'm sure you have recognized that. And then, we should take advantage of it. Like you said, if you've performed before schools before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And students like something different.
Oh, Tower Hill, Friends School. He's funny. We had 200 kids at Friends School, and he invites them all up on the stage. And the teachers were like this, and the kids they were very excited. He let each one sing into the microphone, but he talked to them also about your country and what the opportunities are there, but you must really pursue them harder.
Exactly.
And talk to them about the how here it's easier, but they should be aware and be thankful for what they have here. And the teachers come to you afterwards and they say, that's a very good message for our kids here to hear that you have a lot, you should appreciate it and be good to your teachers, because everybody doesn't have a good teacher like that.
The reason why I have this courage, I'm confident, and inviting the president, inviting all these great people, because I know where I come from. People are not too big in my country, especially when they know this is an interest for the Gambian country, for the Gambian people.
Yes.
Everyone comes in, and everyone dedicate, give time. So I'm not really, because I know whatever goes wrong, at the end of the day, it's egalitarian. He was here. And I'm also looking forward to be a star, to be recognized with what I do with music. And if I had the feeling that it's going to be something different, I wouldn't even be there. I wouldn't even, at the first place, I'm not going to write the president. So, and talking about a little bit of the president, he's a mentor to me, because someone who says that you should know yourself and defend your own self is someone who's giving you the key to know where you're from.
Yes.
So
the African blood is in you.
Yeah, so
we don't forget
I've been to very many
roots.
I've been to very many countries.
Yes.
And I've been to more than 10 West African countries.
Okay.
I've been to 3 to 4 or 5 European countries.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people approach me, and first thing they say, "Where's the lion?"
Well, yeah. We get all that.
They say, especially in French African countries, they say, "We vote lion la." It shows that they appreciate it.
Yeah.
So why not we Gambian appreciate what we have and make good use of it? So like I told them, I'm going to repeat that. From today, I am out of it. It has to be the city of Wilmington or Delaware linked direct to the Gambian people, at least Gambian authorities. So I want it to have a great future for my brothers and sisters who are trying to make a living.
Right. And I really admire your patriotism.
Yes, and I pray
you are
that
really
it works out
committed.
well.
Yes. You are committed,
Yes.
and I'll get a result from him. If I will be exchanging text and email, he responds immediately. I say, well, maybe it's because he's been in this country. So this is a way of you getting to know our city. I hope that by the time we interact more after this meeting, we'll get something substantive, in place. Okay, to you, Mr. Ambassador, please.
My brother, I want to thank you
Yes.
for having this opportunity that you had to fill in for the mayor. As far as I'm concerned, you sitting there, the mayor sitting there, I'm just looking for somebody who will deliver. So it may be my brother Tunde, it could be a mayor,
That's right.
be a chief of staff. At the end of the day, it's not about the personality.
Yes.
It's about the institution.
Right.
So thank you for stepping in. I want to also bring you greetings from the Embassy of the Gambia, which, of course, we've been communicating with Egalitarian.
Yes.
We're located Wisconsin Avenue in Washington.
Okay.
And I'm here with, of course, our brother, retired General Yankuba Drame, who is our Deputy Permanent Representative of the United Nations. Ambassador Tangara was supposed to be here, and three of us talked about it and said he is taking care of some area, and then the general, will fit in, and it comes back to the same thing. Whether him or the general is here, it's going to be. It was like a 6 and a 9. They're convertible, no big deal. And of course, I'm also here with the Protocol and Welfare Officer, Mr. Pierre Minte, who's part of the team. Apologies goes to everybody because our lady, the Director of Information and Culture of Mrs. Sidibe, has got a last minute unforeseen. And we're here also with the person who's taking care of the wills, preacher man, Mr. Danny.
Oh, you're a pastor?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Whenever we go anywhere, when we drop off on meetings, he gets hold of the Bible and reads a couple. And when we come back, then he put it back and continue. So
What country are you from, sir?
Philippines.
Philippines. I was there.
We at the Embassy of the Gambia, and generally Gambians, everybody is a player. There's nothing like an ambassador and a driver to put somebody to eat on that basin, and the ambassador, we share. That's why he always attends our meeting.
Very good.
He's part of the team. Even if I make decisions when he's driving, I avail him myself that if you think I'm not going the right way, call my attention. The first day I arrived in that embassy, that's what I told him. And he had built up that confidence that even if I am taking a decision this way, he will say, oh, but sir, what? Then I have to listen.
Okay.
That's the way we operate. So we're very pleased to be here. We have to thank our brother Egalitarian and the Dinkendo family. They have been to Washington several times when the president arrived, both at the UN Africa Summit and recently at the United Nations General Assembly, which the ambassador hosted us, 69th General Assembly. And they've always been there with us, complimenting the president and encouraging him for whatever he is doing. So we're happy to be here, but special greetings to His Excellency, President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya AJJ Jammeh. And the title we call him is Babili Mansa. I'm still trying to find out a good Mandinga guy to explain to me really what Babili Mansa is. But I know it's a very important title because there was a bridge somewhere in the Gambia that over a century ago, everybody said that there were demons in there were jinns in there, nobody can do anything. And that's what the president likes. He likes challenges. He come and put a bridge in there. So the Gambia turned around to him. And I think that was one of the reasons why that Babili Mansa come from. Mansa, I know, is king in Mandinga. So greetings from President Jammeh, who has directed us. We've just not sat out of New York or Washington and have a nice Friday and we figured that we should drive to Delaware. No, we have been instructed.
I see the level of importance that we attach to it. Okay.
And that is President Jammeh. He do not look low onto anybody or anything. The gentleman wrote to him all the way from here, and the office of the president responded with a letter and asking, directing that we should come and thank him with his band and encourage him and tell him that yes, he's with him, like he's been with him before. That is President Jammeh. It will not be easy to see presidents in Africa just because of a guy who has a band to send his staff. It's difficult. But President Jammeh is unique, and we commend him, and we always pray for him, and we thank you for those kind words that you have said about the Gambia being, of course, the smiling coast of Africa, we call it. But today is about the Gambia.
Yes.
It's about Delaware, and it's about Egalitarian with his team, with his band. The patriotic Gambian wants us to link with you folks out here. And we believe that that's a very important aspect. He could have just called us and we start party right away when we arrived. But he says, I think it will be important to also come and attend to the mayor's office and talk to them, so that he will have a legacy of one day, what have you done for Gambia in Delaware? Were you just playing music and people having fun? Or have you linked that the Gambia and Delaware will exchange culturally, economically, tourism, and all other aspects? Ed just ran us a little bit about the history involving Delaware, of course up to Pennsylvania and all that. So it's not a coincidence that Gambia was also like a hub during the slave trade, where of course. So our coming here is by no means any coincidence. This looks like it's been predestined. No, it's not a joke. I was sitting here and I was thinking about all of how all happened. You know, like they always say when I used to be in Nigeria, when we were all there, God works mysteriously. You know, or somebody may turn around and tell you, my friend, you see the work of God, have you? So this is it. We have ties. Maybe some of our great ancestors have passed through.
There's no doubt in my mind that when you look at the African Americans in Wilmington, that their ancestors, it's not conjecture. Most of what they last saw of Mother Africa when they left was either the Gambia or Senegal.
Right.
And if the French were sending them, it was Senegal. If the English were sending them to America, usually, it would be the Gambia. So most in the United States, most of the kids that are looking for a mooring in this city, they're trying to find out who they are and what they are. It's interesting how you have people that can trace their roots to the Dutch colony, further back to the Swedish colony here in Wilmington, and then there's people that can trace their roots to the English and to the Germans and the Polish later, the Irish, the Italians, and then you've got this basically a sea of African Americans, and their history is most directly traced back to the Gambia, and it's not a fiction. It's history.
And my brother, you're right, and we're happy to tell you that we operate differently. That's why when you send
that's refreshing to hear.
When you send texts to this gentleman and he gives you information right back, he was getting it somewhere.
That's right.
We do not believe in a lot of bureaucratic bottlenecks. We have gone past that stage.
Very good. Very good.
And our president also believes in action. That's just his nature. That's why I'm glad you mentioned within that short time he was able to achieve and change Gambia. And the country had metamorphosed from pre-1994 to 2014, and it is now properly the smiling coast of Africa. You had barely seen anything before 1994. I'm sorry to say I was part of that system because we were all in the army then, but it was growing, it was slow. But this man came with a vision and trust in God Almighty. And he believes that if people get up to work hard and regain the lost glory of Africa and believe in ourselves, and with all his vision, grow what you eat what you grow.
Yes.
Believes in independence, believes in respect for everybody. Then the Gambia started moving. That if you go to Gambia today, yes, you will say, with the limited resources these people got, really they've come a long way. I was in the embassy in Mauritania as a deputy chief of mission, just like what I'm doing right now. And the Mauritanian president, Abdul Aziz, went to Gambia with a big delegation. And after his trip, he had a meeting with his cabinet and he told them, if this small country with barely no resources can look at their hotels, look at these beaches, look at the how did they do it? Look at the lighting system, look at the roads. He said, what about us? In Mauritania,
no power outages.
No, even happens, it gets very minimal, and he's doing everything possible. He's doing everything to try to, because it's a small country, we barely. That's why we want you, and that brings me to my next point. We should immediately work on tourism.
Yes.
And that's why it's not a coincidence that I also brought this along with the team.
It's key.
And I want Ed, an egalitarian, he's saying that yes, I'm not going to be part of it anymore. Yeah, but he'll be in the background because he's the
That's
one
only
who
his
put that
dream.
foundation. But I'm sure he just wants us to avoid too much bureaucracy. In that embassy or the UN mission, nowhere. So please, we say, God, thank you. If you send us a letter today or an email, this is a mobile office right here, my brother. Where we walk, where we enjoy to walk. And that's why within the short time we were able to make an impact. And that's why we couldn't say, Mr. Minte, you can just come alone or choose another guy. Me and him decided that this is very important. And we really thank you for stepping in like you've done before. And maybe you may understand us more. Now you can sit with.
Exactly. That's why I say it's a blessing. In
Absolutely.
God.
You never know.
If the mayor is here, it's just protocol.
Absolutely.
You know, we won't be able to talk, heart to heart.
Heart to heart. But now, so this relationship, this is history repeating itself. So we kindly, please, Doctor, ask you to immediately see what can we do to get people out of here to go also and visit the mouth of the Atlantic Ocean, the smiling coast of Africa, where everything started, because that's where everything ends. Even people who understand some of the historical and even, I didn't want to say it, but I said spiritual connotation.
Yes.
Gambia is enjoying a very special location in the world. That, as I said, that's another meeting of itself as well. Because if you look at the map, right here, you will see. That's the map. That's the mouth of the Atlantic Ocean.
That's so true.
That's where everything starts to go to anywhere in the world. So the Gambia is sitting on a big pillar. So we want your people to be ready to look for Gambia, talk about Gambia, and get a team to come to Gambia to see where some of the folks that are here, their great-great-grand ancestors, emanated, started the journey from the Smiling Coast. And of course, some of them, because of the French, went to Gorée in Senegal, but it all started off at the mouth because of this one country. When it comes to colonialism, that's why in the 12th or 13th century, that's when you had Senegal or Gambia. But it used to be called Senegambia.
Yes, Senegal.
If you read geography books in those days, you will not see Gambia or Senegal. It used to be called Senegambia. And we are, with the band here, we're looking forward to bonding after this meeting. We're going out to see Delaware.
Okay.
We're going out to, enjoy, look at the area and say, God, thank you for bringing this family together. Because we owed them a visit. They came a couple of times, 2 or 3 times.
Yes, you told me.
To Washington, to the embassy. They came to my house. We spent
Love your house. We spent
long nights with everybody. And
all the Gambians.
We exchanged a big group, the APRC, that's the president's party.
Okay.
And then we all gathered, people come from different states to come and say thanks to the president. And we all came to the house because they wanted to sleep overnight so that they can go and cheer the president up in the morning. So we all gathered to eat and drink. So we really enjoy it when we have them. And they've always been very forthcoming. But really what I want you to help do, brother, is to immediately see what are we going to do to move this forward. Of course, there are a lot of business opportunities in there. Right now, somebody just sent me a text telling me that somebody just came from Gambia. He took a couple of companies out there. And he said, my friend, investment opportunities in the Gambia, agriculture, air services, energy, fisheries, ICT, light manufacturing, river transportation, tourism. So now the Gambia is ready. It's like a virgin land. It still needs to be tapped. And we need the able people here. And of course, with the help of our brother, with his guidance and support, I think very soon something will come up. So I really want to take the opportunity again to, first of all, on behalf of the team here and on behalf of the general, thank the president for giving us the opportunity. Yeah, I could have visited here on my own. There's no problem. But this is coming from him, and it's not verbal. It was on a letter directing which means that the president has a lot of respect for IGA and his team. He responded from the office of the president. I have a copy of the letter. He has a copy. A lot of people, they have a copy, saying that please go and represent him there and tell him to keep it up. This is what I expect from patriotic Gambians and genuine friends of the Gambia who are ready to team up to give something back. So really, I want to again thank you for those kind words to His Excellency because of his leadership, for creating the conducive environment in terms of peace and stability, which is key for the president. Most of his training was in the US. And because of his background also, he's from a healing family. His family, parents are doctors, traditional healers. So he's just a resourceful person. And a lot of people that interacted with him, you love him because he's very warm and he's very down to earth. Yes, he's president, but he's not trying to, he said, look, my friend, we're in this together. And so he wants to meet the local people, and that's his advantage. He wants to look for the people that nobody cares. He wants to go to those people. So thank you very much. I think I should hand over the baton to the general. And of course, I'm really thankful, and thank you for giving us time. And we look forward to your guidance and support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think what the Nigerian man would say, all points covered. Nigeria is one country I think I frequently visited in the past. I've been there many times. And the interesting thing is that crisscross Nigeria from the north, south, etc. But it's always difficult when he speaks first. One finds it very difficult to find the right words to convey your true aspirations, actually. But again, my brother, Dr. Tunde, so that's a castle.
Castle.
Yes, and equally, I want to thank you most sincerely for providing this forum. It's quite genuine. It's quite inspirational. And first of all, I would like to bring greetings from my ambassador. The ambassador would have loved to be here in person physically to grace this occasion with his physical presence. However, due to some exigencies, the ambassador had to travel to Banjul. Notwithstanding, he has asked me physically to be here in person to deputize on his behalf. It basically denotes the importance we attach to this very important.
Very much so. Very
absolutely.
Much so, yes.
Because we spoke 2 days ago. What did I tell you about my coming here? About these resolutions.
Absolutely, the UN.
Currently, until yesterday,
Sessions.
Sessions. We still have sessions with session ongoing. I decided to bring some of these resolutions here, so that somebody is sitting in for me at the moment, so that we can be communicating to decide on those resolutions individually. Because until yesterday, I was not very sure whether I can make this trip. However, after the second thought, I said to myself, I have to give concession to this visit. Basically, once again, it denotes the importance that we attach to this meeting. And I think my brother said everything. We want to thank my brother, egalitarian, and his wonderful chair. I'm meeting them for the first time, to be honest with you. But we've been in touch constantly by means of telephone conversations, by means of sending text and messages.
He's very good at it.
Oh yes. And I'm really impressed by that because I recall yesterday. This was precisely after 1 in the morning, this morning. I sent him a request, and immediately he responded. And that was 18 minutes past 1 o'clock in the morning. Because I was expecting the feedback probably this morning, not as quickly as that time of the night. But then I was awake trying to do some reports at the time. Because the job we do, basically, you attend meetings, come back from meetings, you have to write reports.
Exactly.
But again, in a nutshell, coming here, basically, it's a privilege. We feel very humbled to be here, to meet him, to meet your distinguished personality as well, and to meet the team. You made specific issues, and I felt obliged probably to make an intervention. Though my colleague already gave a very substantive explanation on the issue. Gambia as an entity. Gambia is a very unique country. Yes, very small by its geographical disposition. The interesting thing about the Gambia is such a very unique and exceptional country. We're not endowed in the sense in terms of natural resources. We are not endowed compared to elsewhere. But we always pride ourselves as a genuine and new source of inspirations and pride within the African continent. That was made possible simply because our president has given us a new and genuine sense of pride and inspiration as a vibrant, independent, and prosperous country. Because this is what he tries to inculcate into each and every one of us. We may not have the resources, but life is all what you make life to be.
Yes, that's true.
If you have a sense of purpose, there is an element of commitment and perseverance, determination. The sky is the limit, and that's what he tells us. He stands as a sense of inspiration to each and every one of us. He has given Gambia a new sense of belonging.
Right.
Yes.
As a vibrant, independent, and prosperous country. Now people look onto the Gambia, the West African sub-region, look onto Gambia as a beacon of hope.
The model too, yes, exactly.
Not only that, even beyond West Africa, because some of us, by virtue of our previous job, we had the opportunity to have traveled wide and far. But each time I travel, I always have to go back home. Why?
Yeah.
I could have stayed there. But you see, we always tell people, one thing no amount of money can represent or step in for. And what is that? We have abundant peace and tranquility.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Because
That's the
peace without security is not sustainable. And security without peace is not durable. And there is always an interface between peace, security, and development.
That's right.
We were able to achieve that much within a very short time, given the fact that we have enough peace and security.
Yep.
We live together as one big family. There's no distinction between being a Christian, being a Muslim. There is no distinction being this tribe or that tribe. We seek our country first before anything else. There's that genuine sense of belonging to one country. We take or supersede every other thing. That was made possible why the Gambians are very hospitable people. And this is a genuine sense of hospitality, deep down from the bottom of the heart. Gambians are very friendly people and very considerate. Somebody would say the culture of silence within the Gambian culture plays a very pivotal role. Like you made specific reference, when he came, he was struggling. He didn't voice his concern. But that's typical of Gambians. We endure and persevere. Because we have to believe, eventually, at the back of the tunnel, there's going to be a light. Because if you want to pursue your defined objectives out of context, usually you take you take a misstep in achieving those set goals and objectives. But if you exercise patience, caution, and diligence in charting your way forward, you should be able to achieve your desired aims and objectives. And once you achieve them, it becomes a sustained achievement. We could be a very small nation, not endowed with resources. Our strength is in our people. And that was made possible because we have a president that serves as a source of inspiration to each and every one of us. Traditionally, most presidents, when they're on their leaves, they want to move from their country elsewhere to enjoy their leave. But we didn't know. He undertakes farming. He undertakes farming. He's a farmer. A president turned farmer, basically. He enjoys farming. And he's the biggest farmer in the country, trust me. But what he's trying to tell us, if you look at Gambia, basically, the mainstay of the Gambia's economy is agriculture.
Yes, yes.
That's our mainstay. But there must be a driving force behind agriculture. And then he decided to take that leadership role to tell people this is the way forward. And he's made a lot of enormous investment in other sectors as well. Health, for instance.
Okay.
Health. Within the sub-region, we pride ourselves. We really pride ourselves to have achieved such a great and exceptional performance in the health sector. If I may put it ironically, it's like we've achieved so much with so little. Now we think we can achieve everything with nothing, absolutely.
The country of wizards.
But then I do not really want, because we do not have the laxity of time.
Yeah.
But I believe seeing is believing.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to just give you the challenge, find time, go to the Gambia.
I would love
And
to
see what
visit-
the
I would
Gambia
love
can
to visit-
offer.
Yes, I would love to visit Gambia.
See what the Gambia can offer. But the president is a very humble and very down-to-earth individual. And the issue of bureaucracy is not a common phenomenon in the Gambia context. But if you look at it, imagine him. If you look at it, you want to make comparison elsewhere. He made a special request to the president to say, this is what is going to take place. And I want you to patronize the event. Given his busy schedule, he could not make the trip.
Yeah.
But he instructed
Delegated, exactly.
that we should endeavor to be present. What does that tell you?
A lot.
It conveys a lot of meaning.
The commitment.
The commitment is there. The encouragement is there. And of course, he takes individual based on the way they present themselves.
Exactly.
Irrespective of what you pursue as an individual is important. Because in that small way, you can make a big difference in enhancing and ensuring that we have what it takes to advance the country forward. Because everybody, if you play your role, I play my role. He does his job and I do my job. I believe collectively, with that element of cohesion, we could always make a substantial gain as a nation. We all have a role to play. We're all individuals with differences. We have our individual weaknesses and strengths, and that is what makes us different as individuals. But we can just harness our collective efforts and move the little country we call Gambia forward. And that's what we're doing as a nation. We're all brothers working towards the same aims and objectives. And we want to bring you on board. I was so impressed meeting them for the first time, and I was equally very touched by that genuine sense of belonging to the Gambia. try to visit the Gambia.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure you'll have enough to come and sell back to people. But for now,
That
weekends
was
in
in the Gambia?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I've lived the dream for the last year. 'Cause we've traveled.
You have to make sure you.
My brothers, we traveled like everywhere. We always in the car. And, I have met your president, which was a big privilege. It's about the world.
The world's bigger than you think.
Yeah, and then when the world, when they see the spirit, like I believe that the spirit is very important, and the spirit can be expressed in a million different ways. Certainly when, John with music, I mean, this is how we communicate. John will tell you we communicate better with the sticks or with the guitars or the flute. This is how we speak to each other.
Music is the universal language.
Yeah, and so like we feel like this is our language, but if we can through the music to pull, like John's mission has been world music, to bring the different parts of music together into the same music. Our dream is to bring some more people, like the talented people from the Gambia, bring them here and they can play in the theater, but they can also play in a school. And that it's part of the spirit that you have to offer, your beautiful resource of the spirit of your people and the spirit of your continent. If we can bring some of that over and sprinkle it around into my country, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
That's what we want,
No, not consider it done.
Yeah.
Well, consider it done. Thank you.
Well said.
Just to conclude the statement,
Yes.
once again, it's better late than never. If you look to my left, it's my colleague from the mission. We came all the way from New York, and we left this morning. It's such an exceptional.
You drove or you come by train?
No, we drove. We came by car. He's my colleague. He's called Alassane. Yes, he's also a Gambian, by the way. Alassane. And once again, we want to thank you for organizing such a very important get-together. Let me use the word get-together. In the sense, at least it accorded us the privilege, at least to exchange views, and then trying to see where we can bridge gap if necessary. It's really an honor and privilege to represent the ambassador. Once again, it denotes the importance that we attach to this gathering.
Definitely.
Yes, thank you.
And on that basis, I want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you too.
Thank you.
Thank you, General.
Okay. Very good.
I think Pierre is already ahead of the game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's always ahead. Maybe this meeting is already in the vibes around the world.
Yeah.
Now technology moves so
Very fast.
Before you know it, Egalitarian's Facebook page is flooded with the Dinkendo family. No, we are very pleased, and we want to really, as the General said, move it forward. Culturally, economically, tourism, what can we exchange? And I was just telling Ed, we're going to prepare a little document.
Press release.
Yeah, because this is something important, especially what this gentleman has said and recognized about President Jammeh, about his leadership and ensuring that the Gambia has maintained peace and stability. And of course, our contributions both from the DC Embassy and the UN mission. We can just get it together, a nice one, and then eventually we will send it. And then when we go back, some of the CDs I have to enclose to also.
Oh yeah.
So there's no problem. We will do that.
Hi, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was wondering if you had anyone take any photos.
Wait, I just retrieved my camera.
I'm working on it now.
Oh, okay,
I just
good.
retrieved
Send them to me when you're done and I'll get
Thank
them
you.
out.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
After a big research, yes, this originated this instrument by our forefathers, and the president is very pleased that we should extend his.
I call it the African guitar.
Yes, the president wants this, that the mayor to know that the Gambia, through Egalitarian and his team, are going to link up with Delaware, and we look forward to building up an excellent relationship. And luckily we have met our brother here, Dr. Tunde, and Doctor will help to sell our ideas.
Okay.
And so greetings from His Excellency the President.
Okay.